I'm giggling because I'm up and awake and alive and well. I don't even want to tell you all the kind of things that are going on behind the scenes at Vibe Women, except to say, if you have a Facebook account or Instagram account, just make sure you have a two-step verification process, because one of my dear friends and clients was hacked last night and it's really bad. And I've been helping her with it. But the good thing is that we found some solutions. There's always a way to solve something. And as I like to think, problems and the challenges we have are just another opportunity to see how God is going to work things out. So therefore, he's worked it out for me to be here with you this morning. Good morning, Vibe Wellness Woman Group, and good morning to all the new members. We are now 20,400 women strong from 92 different countries. That is absolutely amazing. And, people have been asking me, well, how did you do this? How did you grow the group? And there are some strategies that I have applied, but I have to tell you, a lot of it just has to do with the positive energy of the women that I have met that have supported me through the years, that just keeps attracting more positive women. And so I'm so grateful to all of you who have shared this link to the group and who have passed it on to others who have now belonged to the group. And I can hardly wait until my membership platform that's off of Facebook will be ready so that you can all convert over to a membership for the Vibe Living Women Network. And I'll be talking more about that in a couple of days. But today, I wanted to talk a little bit about empowerment. I was thinking this morning that I really had to feel empowered to help my fellow client, sister, colleague, friend through this travesty of someone hacking her account right before a major event that she's going to be doing on Monday. You've seen it in the group, the Thrive and Revive Vitality Summit, where she's going to have 5 experts and me, 6 experts, talking about different facets of wellness. And of course, it's always shocking when you find out you've been violated in that way. Someone has hacked your account. But I felt empowered to help her because I really do believe that everything does work out for us overall. But sometimes when you're in the midst of stress and challenges, it's hard to feel empowered. But wouldn't it be great if you had a toolkit you could go to open it up and say, I'm going to pull out this idea right here and try that to help me feel more motivated, to help me feel more inspired, to help me feel empowered to deal with the stress that's going on, or feel empowered to feel better about who I am after 40, or whatever the issue of concern is. So that's why I have my dear friend, Jewel Diamond Taylor, with us today. Dr. Jewel Diamond Taylor. You know her. She's been here before. Hi, Dr. Jewel Diamond Taylor.
Hello, everyone. 92 countries. You go, girl.
Hey, now I feel like I have a friend in 92 different countries. So the goal will be to go to each one of those countries. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, I'm going to pack my bags and go with you.
Okay. We were just talking about empowerment, and I was sharing the story that I shared with you right before I went on, that if I didn't have that toolkit of things that I go to feel more empowered when being challenged or being stressed or whatever, I probably would be more bonkers than I was feeling earlier. Now, for me, one of my empowerment things is prayer and meditation. And I also use my special little aromatherapy concoction to help kind of calm me down and to be more clear and focused so I could get these things done that weren't on my list yesterday. Now my list is like this, or yesterday was like that. So, those things happen, but it's all in how we decide to approach it. Now, I know, Dr. Jewel, you are very wise. So, and you have been speaking to women for years about these kinds of things in terms of being empowered and inspired. So first of all, for those of you in the group that may not know Dr. Jewel, which I find that hard to believe, but if you, Dr. Jewel, could go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them what you do and why you're so fabulous.
Oh, thank you, my dear. We're just a reflection of each other. And I love the word empowerment, and it simply means the process of becoming more confident, becoming more stronger, and shaping your life. So it is an ongoing process. And so for 35 plus years, I've been teaching women how to endure the process, be committed to the process, get the tools for the process, align yourself with the right people for the process, to know that you're worthy of getting to each level because you never fully arrive. So it's a mindset. And so I've done this through my books, my newsletter, my magazine, my public speaking engagements around the world, um, my 501c3 outreach to empower women that are marginalized. So there's two pillars. I work with women who are seeking deliberately to grow emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually, in their business, in their relationships. And then there are women who are marginalized. They're going through unemployment or breast cancer, depression, trauma, single parenting, grief, and they need some support. So we have our 501c3, which allows us to pour into women's lives, to send funds, to offer them experiences at no cost. I offer counseling and coaching to women at no cost because of our sister soul work. So it's been a great journey. And to align with you, Lennis, is just such a wonderful thing because, we're peers. We understand the rhythm of it all. We understand that just as you talked about your friend going through the attack and the violation, things are going to happen that we don't expect, that are not fair, and we have to still endure the process and not give up. And it's easier to do the journey when you're doing with others that support you, that they speak your name in the room before you get there.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And it's interesting because after 40, our bodies are already changing. Of course, that's my whole bailiwick, the idea of talking about wellness and
Mhm.
how to live with the changes in the body. In some cases, how to prevent some of those changes or how to minimize some of the changes that our body goes through. So that's
Yes.
one thing. But the other thing is that while our bodies are changing, many times our lives after 40 are changing. Sometimes our relationship changes, there's divorces, and unfortunately, spouses pass away after
Mhm.
40. There's the idea of taking care of our parents as they get older. Maybe
Yeah.
there's grandkids, as we both know, on the horizon that pop in and out of our lives that we care for. Many of us are kind of like in our careers. If you're, like maybe between 45 and 55, wondering, okay, is this all there is? Is there something else
Yeah.
I want to do? How come I can't break that ceiling? All of this is going on. And this is all the reason why you need to have those tools to feel empowered to move beyond that. I know
Yes.
for me, one of the things that's so important is from a wellness perspective is that we kind of check in with our bodies to find out, okay, where do I need some extra help that might help me get more clear in terms of what I need to do when it comes to making decisions or when it comes to actually taking action. So you got to make sure you have enough sleep. I keep this one thing which I haven't had much of, so I need to preach to myself. But I keep this in my next to me all the time. This is my water. I fill it up 4 times a day. I think it's like 24 ounces, I think, but I fill it
Wow.
up 4 times a day, and I
Mhm.
don't even think about it. I just drink it, drink it, drink
Yeah.
it, and fill it 4 times, and that's it. So water is extremely important.
So
Making
important.
Yes, making sure you have the right supplements, making sure that you're eating foods that edify your body, making sure that you're moving, working out. It's very easy for someone like me to sit in this chair for 8 hours and not get up and move. But now I have an alarm that goes out to remind me to move. So these are all the things that can help us to feel better so that we can feel empowered to deal with the changes that we go through in life, especially after 40.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're so simple, but they give you great results and a great reward when you put those systems in place. You just cannot underestimate the impact food and rest and sunshine have on our bodies. And people have all these dreams and vision boards and prayers, but they gotta take care of self. And
Self
they
care.
have to do what you just said, the self inquiry. Ask ourselves, what is it? How much time am I wasting on things that are not bearing any fruit? Who's getting my time? How much sleep am I getting? Who's in my ear all the time? What brings me down? What brings me up? I read something at the day. It said, make a note of the last time you were feeling good and ask yourself, what was I doing? Where was I? Who
Yes.
was I with? And then see if you can repeat that again. Sometimes we just go through situations and we're not even aware of the impact and that we could recreate those moments. But what we tend to do sometimes is that if we're used to a series of, oh, Life is heavy. Life is hard. We repeat that because we think that's normal. We want to normalize being able to be empowered. That, you know what? I noticed this, I'm observing this, and I'm going to change. I
Right.
love using the phrase U turn, YOU turn. You turn around and do something different. You turn around and say, wait a minute, I'm not going to participate in that. You turn around and say, you know what? I'm wiser now. I'm stronger now. I found my voice now. And forgive yourself for those times that we had missteps, those times that we allowed people to waste our time, or we gave our love or power or money or time to the wrong issues. It's all a learning process. And empowerment just simply means that I'm in the process of letting go. I'm in the process of unlearning so I can learn something new. I'm in the process of letting go things that are not for my highest good. I love the word wellness. And you look at the word wellness, the first two letters are we. So we do this together with our sister friends. I've been putting on events for years for women to come together and get out of isolation. You know, Linus, you probably can relate to this. I'm an ambivert, which means I can be an introvert and I can
Yep.
be an
That's me.
extrovert.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And so I'm finding more and more women as we get more seasoned, they get more comfortable just staying home. They get more comfortable just saying, well, I guess I've reached my limit. And I want to speak to that woman and say, no, you have not. You
No.
still have breath in your body. And the we coming together, it's like I learned about jewel stones because my father was a jeweler. And they have these machines where they put all the jewels in a machine and they're rubbing against each other. That's what polishes them. The name of it escapes me right now, but it's a machine that polishes them up. You can't get polished by yourself. Iron has to sharpen iron,
Iron sharpens iron.
you know.
Absolutely.
And
I
so
so agree with you. I so
yeah. And so I want to speak to that woman that is saying, oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm retired. And we want to say, no, get refired. Come on and get refired. Link up with the events that Linus does. Link up with the events that I do and get refired. Uh, be empowered to know that, you know, God is not finished with you yet. God has put so much in all of us. And I know we have moments when we're not only tired, but just tired,
mhm,
you
mhm.
know. And so when we come together as a community, when we come together to network, when we come together to fellowship, when we come together to exchange ideas, when we come together to have a lunch or a dinner or hang out or travel together, amazing things can be
It's
born.
amazing. It's that synergy. And it's
Yes,
exactly for all of the reasons that you mentioned that we're going to be doing the Soul Sister Saturday, May
yeah,
20th, here in Sacramento, California. Now, let me tell you, we did this back in October and we only had a few weeks to put it together, and it was really amazing.
it was.
And for those of you who are in the group, or maybe you're on my profile page, or you're listening, looking in LinkedIn or on YouTube, you will find there in the feed one of the commercials that we put together to give you an idea of what it was like to be there on that day. And I've heard words like they felt re-energized, they felt
Yeah,
empowered, they felt like their mindset had been changed. They were so
mhm.
glad just to be together with each other.
Right, right.
They also felt they got a chance to network and to talk with women, some that are brand new, they just met, and others who hadn't seen in a long time. Let's not forget about the trauma of the pandemic.
Of the
Even
pandemic.
though things seem to have gone back to normal, the reality is that we all lost about 2 years of our lives in terms of being able to interact with one another, feed off one another. And in the
Hmm.
process, we lost friends, we lost family, people lost jobs, some people lost homes. There was a lot of loss. That's
Yes.
traumatic. And one way to begin to move forward with trauma is beginning to start interacting with each other, being able to talk about it, getting it out, telling your story. And this is something that's different. You can't do it over Zoom. It's not quite the same thing. Zoom
No.
has its place, but being able to touch, feel, and talk to a person, look at people in their eyes and connect. That's what we're going to be doing in Soul Sister Saturday on May 20th. Now, I'm going to be posting in the comments below, right after we're done, the link to get tickets, because the early bird special is over on the 24th of April. Now, I
Wow.
know. Yeah, and I know some of you say, I'm going to buy tickets, I'm going to buy tickets. Hurry up, because it's going to go up on the 24th. Some of you have already bought tickets. Thank you. very much, but
I
we
know.
really want to see all of your beautiful faces out there. Now, this is in Sacramento, California, but we do have some people coming in from New Jersey and Canada. So if you want to make this kind of your
Wow.
getaway, and
Yeah.
here's another reason. Mother's Day is coming up. And you know how, we get beautiful gifts and acknowledgments from our family, but it's not the same thing as acknowledging yourself and doing something that you really want to do for yourself for Mother's Day. So here's your self Mother's Day gift. Coming
That's
to
right.
Gold Seeker Saturday, get a chance to meet the fabulous Dr. Joel Diamond Taylor, getting a chance to fellowship, network, get empowered, learn something, because I will be dropping some gems about simple hacks that you can do to feel better in your mind, body, and spirit, especially as we move towards what I figure is, and what has been for me, the best time of my life.
Wow.
Midlife
Wow.
after 60, well, soon to be 66, this has been the best time of my life. And I think one of the reasons why I made up my mind that it was going to be, but also I learned how to take better care of me and to put myself on my own to-do list.
I
So,
love that.
yeah, absolutely.
Can I share something that I
Yes.
experienced yesterday? I went to visit a seasoned sister who lives by herself, and she spent through a series of traumatic losses. I mean, very traumatic losses. And she had been isolated, an introvert, and my ministry, we like to reach out to women like that, let them know you're not alone, and we see you, and we bring food and things like that. So I visited with her yesterday, and she said, Jewel, now that I'm getting older, it's getting easier for me to tell the truth to myself. And I thought that is a pivotal moment when we stop telling ourselves these little stories like, I'm too old, and I'm just a mess up, and nobody loves me. And you know what? I realize now I was holding other people accountable for my happiness. You know what? I realized I didn't follow through. Oh, I mismanaged my money. I mismanaged my time. Oh, I made some choices I regret. And in acknowledging that, you free yourself up, and you're not holding other people hostage. Like, if it wasn't for my ex, or if it wasn't for, it's like, wait a minute, let me take a breath and realize, let me tell the truth. I wasn't ready. I didn't have the tools. I was needy. I was a people pleaser. I'm going to be teaching at our event, Lennis, on May the 20th for my book, The 12 Faces of Eve. And I'm going to be talking about the way we cover up our pain, how we cover up and we try to fit in and get in. And what she said yesterday was so true. There comes a point when you tell the truth to yourself. Like, you know what? I was afraid. You know what? I acted out of loneliness. You know what? I acted out of fear. You know what? I acted out of anger. You know what? I mismanaged this, or I didn't do this. I didn't follow through. And in that truth telling, there is a liberation. I love the saying, the truth sets you free, but you know what? Sometimes it hurts at first to hear it.
That's
You're
true.
like, yeah, you're like, you know what? I wasn't eating right, and now I've got all these health challenges. Let me just tell the truth. I wasn't eating right. Let me tell the truth. I was drinking too much soda or liquor. Let me tell the truth. I was looking for love in the wrong places. And in telling the truth, you're not shaming yourself. You're freeing yourself so that the empowerment allows you to make newer choices in this process to say, you know what? A light bulb just came on, and I see things clearly now. And I let my parents off the hook, and I let my ex off the hook, and I let myself off the hook. And I stopped expecting my children to be a certain way. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to tell the truth that it is a do it yourself life, and I'm going to get busy, making things happen and allowing blessings and love and friendships and opportunities to show up in my life. Because when you tell the truth to yourself, you realize that sometimes you blocked it, you
Right.
resisted it, you didn't feel worthy of it, you were afraid of change. And I found that in the comfort zone, there's no growth. But in the growth
Oh
zone,
my
there
goodness.
is no comfort.
You are definitely speaking my language. I was just saying to someone the other day that I feel the need to get uncomfortable,
Yes,
because
yes,
if I'm going to grow to the level that God told me I was going to do in this lifetime, it's time for me to get uncomfortable, which is really interesting because as an entrepreneur, it's always uncomfortable a little bit because
yes.
you never know. But now it's required that I stretch even further. And that's why I'm coming up with my membership site, the Vibe Living Network, because it's going to be a stretch for me
Yeah.
to talk
Yeah.
these lovely 20,400 women to follow me over to another platform. But it's something that, God told me a long time ago that I was supposed to be doing, but it
Mm.
requires getting uncomfortable. And when you were talking about, the kind of women that we all want to be, it just reminds me of what the epitome of what I feel the vibe woman is. The vibe woman is
Mm.
vibrant.
Yes.
She's intuitive. She has that inner beauty that radiates out, and she is empowered to
Yes.
make the changes that's necessary in order for her to grow in the way that she knows that she was always capable of, but maybe perhaps never gave herself a chance to do. So these are the things we're going to be talking about. And we're not just going to be talking about them. You're going to walk away with some tools at
Yes,
this
for
particular
sure.
event, the Soul Sister Saturday, May 20th. You're going to walk away with some tools, a toolkit of things that you're going to want to institute right away to help you feel more well in your mind, body, and spirit, to help you feel empowered to go after the things that you've always wanted to do, and to change that mindset from I can't to I can, and to just feel more love for yourself and appreciation for yourself. I used to feel like I wasn't of value if my
Mm.
husband wasn't happy with me, if my children weren't happy with me,
Yeah.
if my friends weren't happy with me. But I finally had to change that. If I was going to be a successful entrepreneur, I
Mhm.
had to feel like I had value just based upon who I am. So I
Mhm.
had to learn to value myself and stop being so outer directed for validation,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then find my validation within. And sometimes you need a little help with that. Sometimes we need a little help with feeling validated, feeling good enough, knowing that we are enough and getting better every day, and feeling that it's okay. We don't have to hear it from everybody else. We know within ourselves. And that requires a little growth. It's a little uncomfortable,
Well,
but go ahead.
this is so you're just, I mean, you're just right there. We're in the pocket together, because in my notes I was saying that yes, affirmation is good. It feels good to get patted on the back. It feels good to be affirmed and encouraged. But sometimes we want that so much that we don't open ourselves to information, impartation, and
Mhm.
inspiration. That's what we're going to
Mhm.
be giving on May the 20th. We need more than affirmation. We need information that's going to transform our lives.
Yes.
You could come to our event. Listen, ladies that are watching, you could come to our event and get one piece of information that could change the trajectory of your life, that could change your faith, your mindset. Uh, we need information. We need inspiration. We need impartation, not just affirmation. Affirmation is kind of speaks more to our ego and our vanity. Oh, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. But guess what? You may get some information that's going to make you say, oh, wait a minute. Oops. I got to do something different. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've been, going in the wrong direction. I got to change my thinking. I got to change
Mhm.
my eating. I got to change. And so that information may be uncomfortable, and it may not affirm where you are right now, but it will certainly take you further when you come with an intention on May the 20th to be open to not just affirmation, but information,
Absolutely.
inspiration, and
Absolutely.
impartation.
Absolutely. I love that. Please go to the comments below in just a couple of seconds and click on the link to register for the Soul Sister Saturday event. As you can
Yeah.
see, it is going to be an amazing opportunity to really be involved in a synergy of positiveness, love, and also self care that we all need to have, especially as we age. Learning to put ourselves on the front burner, making sure that our needs are met, that we're
Mhm.
learning to operate outside our comfort zone and growing, and not just deciding that's it. I'm over 50, I'm over 60, I'm over 40, there's not much more. Are you kidding me? I did more with my life after 50 than I did those 50 years leading up, as far as I'm concerned, in
Because
terms of,
you're more emboldened, and we had
yes,
such a great time. Everybody said, let's do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again.
yes,
And
they did.
so we said, okay, we hear you, we're going to do it again, May the
We're going to do it
20th.
again.
So
So
get your
join us.
tickets.
Absolutely. Get your tickets. Soul Sister Saturday, May 20th. You can go on Eventbrite and just put in Soul Sister Saturday will pop right up. Go ahead and take advantage of the early bird special that is over on the 24th. And we also have girlfriend tickets. If you can get a table of people together, check that out on the site. We have a pricing for that. You can probably get, some of your girlfriends together and get a table and come and enjoy, fellowship, have fun, meet new people, meet Jewel, and just begin to get into that vibe of being all that you can be and life. Yep. I'm excited, Jewel. I
I
really
am
am.
too. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we're collaborating together for our total wellness. Come on, ladies. I can't wait to see you and hug you and bless you and just increase our territory. So get your tickets. And I want to give a shout out to the women from the Bay Area that told me they've already registered and they can't wait to come. They came to one of my retreats. They're like, okay, we're so glad you're finally coming up to Northern California. So I'm going to be there May the 20th.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Dr. Joel, for coming by. I love visiting with you.
I
And
love
thanks to
you.
all of you for listening. Love you too. Have a fantastic and wonderful vibe day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Stay in the light.